And hello, everybody, and welcome to the party. Haha, I said the name. Uh, Hope you're having a great Sunday. Sunday fun day. You know,
That's all I got.
yeah, I'm sure I could have said something clever, but instead,
I was trying to distract you.
I didn't. So, yeah. Hey, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. So sit back and enjoy our special kind of nonsense. I am your dungeon master and host and person pulling all the teeny tiny puppet strings, Bardic Knock. My name is there. I also have a Twitter and a Patreon. They're all the Bardic Knock, and you can go and find me and stalk me on the internet to find out what I'm doing sometimes, if you're that way inclined. So enjoy all those things. Uh, let's have people say their names. TJ, since you're so keen on distracting us all with your amazing dance moves, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Yes, Amazing Dance Moves is my middle name, just in case it wasn't known well here. But my first name is TJ, and my character name is Flick, and he is a halfling rogue. And I will be playing him today, just in case you get confused and think that he's playing me.
Are you sure he's not playing you?
I'm pretty sure that I am a construct of Flick's imagination, and you were just all the parts to make it seem more realistic.
I mean, I wouldn't not say that.
Prove me wrong.
It's like think so highly of her.
What was that?
It's good to think so highly of her.
Hey, you are the guys he created with his own mind. Can he possibly think any higher of you?
Take
I
away
don't
my speech
know
issue
why
and
he
be
would
great.
punish himself like that.
Well, the point of time that we're stuck in is actually right after his parents' house went up in flames, and he's standing there staring into it, and we're all just the rest of his life living out in the back of his head.
Oh boy.
Why would he
Just
create
take
meat
away-
sprinkles then?
Oh,
He's punishing himself.
Perhaps that's what his parents
Clearly.
So, since she was the first to comment on all of Flick's imaginary world, friends, whatever we want to call them, Rebecca, how about you introduce yourself next?
being punished. Rebecca, I play the half orc bard monk Primrose. I hate your plan so much.
Well, I had a whole week to try and think of a better one, and I didn't think about the game until 10 minutes ago. So,
Yep.
Player loves the plan. The character hates your plan.
right?
Well, this
Yeah.
is what we get for no one else thinking and coming up with plans.
Thinking is hard, okay?
High risk, high reward.
It is, and with that mindset, this is true. Varko had an alternative plan. So,
True. It's whether or not it was viable.
well, while we're talking about plans, how about we go to our one and only protester to the plan, and that would be Don't Blink. Don't Blink, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us your name and stuff?
Yes, I'm Don't Blink. I will play Vaco. And just a quick thing, Don't Blink is actually that name whenever I was much younger because of a Doctor Who episode called Angels that week. And you're not supposed to blink because then the angels will kill you. Just a heads up.
Well, now we know that.
Yeah. But yeah, I play Vaco. On a side note, I play Vaco, the sorcerer here in this awesome world that we have, the Kingdom of Fife. And I am protesting like a Palestinian protesting UN resolutions against Israel. So
Topical.
I can say that. That's alright. I can say that though, because I'm a Palestinian.
Go and
Okay.
making topical references here. See, it's more than just a bunch of morons saying how much we want to kill dragons, and you know, be gay. I mean, that's mainly me and Rebecca. But
Sorry, we still
Welcome
love
to
you.
Political Sundays.
Political Sunday.
oh god. So yeah, that there politics and them immigrants coming
Cultural
from south of the border. You know what that's like, TJ, don't you?
His south of the
Yep.
border is so much different, and I love it.
Damn Americans
Yep.
sneaking across for our maple syrup and weed.
I'm across for freedom. Thank you.
And finally,
Anyway,
let's have our mastermind behind all the only viable good plan. There were no other options. So, Cody.
I think the term master and the term mind, when put together in the way you've done so, are probably not the best description. But out of all the bad plans, I think I kind of threw a dart, and this is the one that it landed on. And so,
I want to.
yeah.
I want to see the AU where you picked a different plan. Like, what were the other plans you had?
Oh, like alternate kid, the one who actually has a survival instinct? Yeah, no, that one's like just very meekly protesting in the back of his mind, but there's way too much teenage angst
Yeah.
for him to be heard.
we abandoned Angus on the side of the road. Don't do it. What do we do?
Angus is fine. He's with us. And by the way, my name's Cody. I play Kid, who is a wizard/fighter. Probably going to be doing more of the fighter today than the wizard, but that could all change at the drop of a hat because a majority of the plans that I create are designed to fail.
See,
Oh, thanks.
It's like the one thing we can reliably take into context on them, like into account.
There is a point in every single one of the plans where he expects stuff to fail.
well, hey, it's
I actually did the math.
contingencies.
It turns out I actually did the math. It turns out that 40% of kids' plans are successful. However, that number jumps up to 70 if he designs a spot where it is meant to fail at that moment.
As curious as I am about how you did the math, I think we'll spend too much time in the weeds on that particular question. So let's just say sure and keep going.
Alrighty, so before we jump back in, and anyone who has no idea what amazing, terrible plan we're talking about, you're going to find out in a moment. A moment? I was thinking minute and said moment, so you got a moment? A moment?
Sound like you got a little mailman in there.
Maybe. Deep breath.
Just term per minute.
Just
They
Off to a
don't
good
have
start.
mailmen over there. They have the post.
I just need a second to like get my shit together. Nope.
A little bit
I
of shit over
consider-
here, over there.
Nope. I'm
Just so you know, I
Still a
consider
mess.
showing up drunk.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, so as I was gonna say before I got distracted by my inability to form words, before we jump in, hey, welcome to the party. It's a cool place where people do cool things, not including this weird little thing I'm doing. So I'm gonna stop. There's a Discord server. If you click that little link down there, you can find a whole server's worth, like just an amount of people who are cool and interesting and enjoy conversing about tabletop role-playing games and other things. Also, we're all inclusive, so don't need to worry about none of that there bigotry or gatekeeping or any of that stuff if you're not into hearing about that kind of nonsense. We don't have it, so come and join it if you want a nice, happy, safe place to just be a person, and also to find people to play games with or maybe stream. We're always looking for people who want to pick up streams in the future and do
Matt,
stuff.
We said we're all inclusive. If they want to be a vegetable, they can be a vegetable.
They can be a
Right?
carrot.
No discrimination.
Just be a rutabaga.
Yeah,
Granted, if
Kevin.
your Brussels sprouts will kind of look at you a little funny, but
I'm an eggplant personally, but
See, in this modern day context, you know, with the synonym, that word,
whatever those things are, yeah.
with the synonymic nature of the eggplant emoji and a penis, are you just calling yourself a big dick?
Why, Matt? I never knew.
That's what all those people were sending me eggplant emojis for. I have all these aubergines. I just used the British word.
Determined that Bucko is a lobster, so.
Oh.
Okay.
There's several jokes about the inappropriateness of eggplants there, but I'm stumbling over one trying to get to the next 7. So
There was a brief
Is a lobster
moment.
now inappropriate?
Lobster could be made inappropriate.
There was the
Bucko is a lobster. We've determined this.
briefest moment there where I convincingly had my shit together for like 10 seconds, and now it's just everywhere. It's...
Intergalactic shit.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, listen. Freaking, you got a bard and a rogue on the same team. Not going anywhere.
Yeah, nothing.
Sorry.
No. I got this. You can do it. So, as I was saying, welcome to Party, great place, Discord server, click it, join it, mingle, integrate, or don't, just lurk and watch other people having social interactions. I've been told it's just as good. You're an introvert, that's cool, you do that. You do you, bro. Other things. You can support the channel by subscribing here on Twitch. There are currently 3 tiers of subscription. Each one of them gets you cool little emotes, which people care about, apparently. I personally don't get it, but if you do, you like collecting those little bits of stuff to throw around on Twitch streams, you can do it. And we've got 3 of them. Tier 1, you get a WTTP D20. Tier 2, you get Michael the Mimic. And Tier 3, you get crits on the rocks. You can also follow Welcome to the Party on Twitter at WelcomePartyRPG, on YouTube at youtube.com/Welcome to the Party, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can follow them over on Twitch at Welcome Party RPG. I had a brain failure.
It's alright, a couple of those and we'll be able to get through this fight with no problem.
Yeah. I just, for a moment, my brain just went, nope. And just... It's good.
Good start.
Great.
We're doing good. I like it.
Yeah. Best.
We got to keep up this energy. This very, very tepid, sort of almost gung-ho energy. We got to keep it going.
It's perfect level, aesthetic and energy. Just, yeah, cool.
It's like bologna sandwich level of energy right now.
I'll have you know, it's bologna sandwich with a very, very mild mustard.
Bologna is shit. Don't even know.
What are we doing? Anyway, let's...
Our normal routine, Matt. What do you think we're doing?
Let's fucking play D&D.
The best part is, we've all had ample opportunity to make this better by now. It still ends up being the same.
Are you telling me this is not optimum level streaming? Is this not
Depends on your classifications, I think.
Is this not what we consider to be like the pinnacle of free entertainment on the internet? Short of pornography.
I'm pretty sure this is just kid's place where he gets to be the one telling the second grade jokes instead of telling people not to say them.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's do it. So, where we left off, you guys had interrogated and then befriended your new mercenary friend, PP, and you had formulated your plans and you are moving forward. As a quick recap, Cody, would you like to remind our lovely captive audience, and I mean that quite in the very literal sense, because I'm sure if anybody is watching this now, that they have been tied down and are being forced to some kind of torture.
Give me just one moment so I can make sure this is working, and it is. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the plan. We have to get inside this fortress where apparently Angus McFife, the lord of the land, has found, or hasn't found, but has been told that his wife is being held as a trophy by what we assume is a frost giant. Can't articulate that well, but trust me, that has no bearing on whether or not the plan is a good one. So, using what we have learned, as well as PP, the mercenary who we recruited and also named, it's short for
we gotta
something, but
we gotta really be careful about how we use that name.
It's a great name.
okay, I'm gonna get off that.
It's a something name.
Okay,
You
I
should
had
say
it all
his
drawn
full
up.
name for context then.
Sorry, we'll shut up so you can finish your description.
All right. So basically, we know that there's not a lot of chance of us being able to siege what we've been told is a fortress, or at least some ruins, with the amount of things that are there. So, uncharacteristically, we've decided not to murder everything in sight, at least not yet.
Has to be a first time for everything.
Mm-hmm. And so, what we're going to try and do is infiltrate the ruins by disguising ourselves as prisoners. We have befriended PP in this endeavor, as he was not able to return without being killed for failure, unless we can disguise it as a careful ruse that not even his comrades even knew about. We've claimed that he's killed Keldor, our greatest warrior, who will be uh, infiltrating the place under the cover of invisibility, uh, thanks to Genthry, alongside Vaco and Flick and Sugar. Kid, Primrose, Angus, Eliza, and Zindrix will be offering ourselves with no armor, no weapons, in an effort to disguise ourselves as prisoners, where we will likely be taken to a fighting pit and expected to kill each other.
That's fine.
Or, other prisoners, whatever comes up, really.
Whatever comes up first. All we know is that we put the likelihood not in our favor, but in one that makes a lot of sense, at least. But in the process, though, we have to be very careful, because if any of the prisoner force uses magic, that will blow it here and there. So, we got to figure out whether or not that's true. If it isn't, then we are free to cut loose, but our main job right now, we need to look as pathetic as possible.
I have a question.
Go for it.
And what's the question?
Does any spell constitute magic? Any at all?
Yeah.
Nope.
A spell is
Spells will
magic.
Okay, alright. Just gonna put my spells aside then for later.
So all of our grit is going to lead us to this moment.
So, one question I've got for you lot as a collective. What are you doing with the wagon? You just gonna be like, alright, we'll leave it here and hopefully we'll be done in a day and the horses won't get killed or anything?
That's the idea.
I thought,
You thought?
weren't we being put on the horses? That's what we were doing.
Oh yeah, PP captured the horses.
Alright, cool. So, PP's gonna be,
tied over the top of them.
yeah, taking team prisoners and the two horses. Yeah, cool. Just double checking. Alright, so let's paint a little word picture about what's going on. So, As you guys progress forward, I'm assuming at this point still as a full collective, and you'll do the split. I'm basically going to narrate where I believe a logical point to do the separating would occur. You walk forward. Well, I say forward. You head in the direction which PP is leading you for about another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from where you had your camp set up. And you can see very clearly in the distance what appears to be two large stone turrets emerging out seemingly from beneath the Arctic tundra which is forming around. You can tell you guys have all got relative familiarity with what a castle turret would look like, and this appears to be two of those. They look somewhat dilapidated and damaged, but they are emerging out from the ice, and you can kind of make out the vague remnants of a castle wall and a drawbridge entry point. It appears as if most of this is covered in snow and ice and all of that, but there appears to be a small entryway. At this point, PP will stop everyone and will pretty much go, here is where where I should tie you and make prisoners.
Okay. Primrose,
All right.
talking.
Last chance to get out of this, guys.
Baco says something silently in prayer.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember them the way they look now too.
What? Okay. So I'm not sure I'm clear on this. Were the packs left with the wagon, or were the packs brought with us? Because something in Prim's pack that needs to be put in.
You packed whatever stuff you wanted to pack, basically. Like,
Okay,
Yeah,
then,
bag of holding.
okay, then can we just say that I forgot last time?
We did do
Looking
that
at my
last time.
character, right? Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
forgot a very crucial item that I just, I guess forgot about.
That's fine. This would be the point when we'd be doing it.
Okay.
Right.
Well, the jar of ashes. I need that in the bag, please.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Flick will make sure to put it inside of something else that'll keep it from banging around.
yeah.
And even if he just wraps it in a sweater or something.
Well, you've
finds
got
a
loads
sweater
of
and then
you've got loads of tarp material, so you can just wrap
Yeah.
it in that. All right. So, how are you going about this split? Like, what is Team Sneak's plan going in?
Flick runs up and hugs Primrose's leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Primrose isn't part of Team Sneak.
Remember, it's Kid's stupid plan. Let him stand in front.
And I walk by and I punch Kid in the knee as I go by.
Hey, that's
Like
how
a
all
friendly
my
one.
plans Go.
Yeah.
I'm a little pat tip on the head. Like I'll try my best.
Okay. Gen3, whenever you're ready, Keldor should make it to where you guys won't leave any prints. We'll try and draw them out. You guys sneak in while they aren't looking.
Okay, do we have any further plan after that? Like, I know you guys just intend to sort of jump in this river and let it see where it takes you, but is there anything we are trying to aim towards? Like, like obviously getting the princess? Yeah, princess out, right? And
See if
staying
you can
alive?
find her, and if you can release her. If you can't, then at least we need to know where they are. If you can't, and we're currently fighting, make some mayhem.
Okay, to try and like distract so you guys can get out. I just need to know the objective here. I'm happy to do whatever we want. I just want to know what we're aiming for so I can try and make that goal happen.
That's a very good point there.
Okay.
For those
I
who
know
can't
our
see the
DM.
chat, I gotta
no,
say
this is-
that.
This is as far as I got. Okay. So we're gonna get in and we'll try and draw all of the attention as much as we possibly can. That'll make it to where you guys won't have to deal with much inside the castle. Y'all's job is not really to fight if you can avoid it.
Okay.
But mainly y'all's job is recon, and then hide after that.
Okay.
If you can, then you might be able to get our gear back to us if we're locked up and not dead.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna need some sort of jailbreak at some point here, right?
Yeah, we can maybe rally some of the other prisoners, but we haven't met them yet, so I have no idea. Hopefully, we can speak their language.
I don't think it'll be hard to convince prisoners that if you're the way that's gonna get them out, to follow that. Anything beyond that, like not sticking a knife in your back as you hold the door open for them and they run through it, that we can't count on.
That's why you're part of the stealth team.
True.
Okay. I'm going to send Sugar with you. So if there is any problem, I'll at least have an idea. But if stuff is foobar, go ahead and hold up 2 fingers and Sugar will come find me. And that will let us know that the plan's gone down and we have to fight our way out.
All right. I look at Sugar and I confirm that, we're looking at the same 2-finger hand symbol here because there's a couple things you can do with 2 fingers. And I also look at Sugar and then look at my shoulder with Sputnik and I'm like, I'm pretty quickly running out of shoulders here. Plus I work better the less things are hanging off me. Why don't you go with, I don't know, Keldo or Vaco? Either one of you guys?
Will Vaco's weasel fight?
Vaco's big, fat, disgusting rat he's just kept in his
Oh, it's a
bag
rat.
this entire time.
I've always cleaned him off, like magically.
Oh shit, you can talk to the rat.
I nod my head.
Between the 2 of us, we can actually have a little communication of vermin. No offense, Sugar.
I forgot what stupid ass voice I gave Sugar. It was...
We're going to have a rat bat train going back and forth through the castle here.
They'll never suspect a thing.
Sugar kind of communicates with me as, they won't know what's coming. It's me.
Hold on a second. I just got an even better idea. Since I actually know how familiars work, let me see if it's at the right level.
Oh, God.
Yes! Okay. Vaco's rat can speak with animals of its kind.
And they both class as vermin, don't they? So, are we going to be the first D&D?
No, it only works with other rats.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. But he can communicate with the rats in there.
I was about to say, are we going to become the first awful D&D podcast where there's shipping for the familiars?
Oh god, don't start shit like that. It wouldn't work out. And I doubt we're the first.
What's that, Sugar and Pepper? What is the rat's name?
I don't know.
Please be Spice.
Oh, Vaco, look out! There's a rat on you.
It's written down somewhere.
Do you not know? Don't blink.
No, I know the name, the rat's name.
That's what I was asking.
It's hold on.
It's definitely here somewhere.
Are you doing the same
I
thing
like
as
to
me? Just
imagine-
open your character and go, I know you wrote it down somewhere.
Hold on.
We're gonna
I
have
like
trouble
to
with
Bolo,
imagine-
Bolo the winter rat. Bolo,
Okay.
B-O-L.
Voldo? Gotcha.
I
So
like
we
to
got Vaco and
imagine,
Voldo.
I like to imagine that Vaco was standing there in the snow, digging through his
Volo.
pocket. Oh my god. What did I name him?
You're looking for a piece of paper.
No, I made sure to write it down on my character sheet because I know one of these days you assholes were gonna bring it up what my rat's name was. Nobody existed
One of
until
these-
last week.
I didn't even know you had a rat till last week.
See, there you go. That's why I knew I had to write it down when we first started the session, all those
It's-
months ago.
Mm.
That's right. I think I should just search everybody for hidden animal companions right now, just so that there's no more surprises.
Oh shit, what's Gen
Prim,
3?
you're
No,
safe.
that actually gives us another element of the plan. Bolo might be able to convince the other rats of the castle to revolt.
Sorry, I've just
A rat
realized.
volt?
I know Gen 3 has a familiar, I just forgot what I made it.
He has one too?
Yeah, of course he does. I just don't remember what it is.
Oh my god, it's like all of the animals are finally going to be doing the side adventure while the big guys go off and do stuff.
Gen 3's got a weasel.
Gen 3's got a week. Between all of them, they're like the perfect traveling party.
Gonna have our own little game of honey heist.
Okay, so now we've got the third group, the animal brigade.
Yes, Eliza is Prim's non-animal companion.
No.
Okay, so we got distracted talking about animals.
And Sif! We completely forgot about Sif.
God damn it. I was hoping no one would mention her. I'm like, we also have the druid with an animal companion. I was like, why are we gonna let it
alright.
go?
We actually have a four-person party. We have a four-person party of animals that we can deploy.
Spudnik.
5-person.
God, yes!
Is this going to derail where we start imagining what classes all of our animal companions are?
Okay,
Derail
they can't
further?
talk to each other, but they can absolutely function as a good group, so... Alright.
Spudnik
The
can
animals-
act as the telecommunications officer with telepathic...
Yeah.
That works.
Ugh,
They do animal vocalizations. Can you actually speak animal?
no.
Well, that's the thing. The other animals aren't intelligent enough to speak telepathically.
This,
Wait a minute, yes they are.
Are they?
they're all
If they
Oh,
have a
the
familiar.
language,
familiars
yes.
would be. Yeah.
Oh god.
Familiars would be, but not Sif. Sif's the barbarian. Okay.
Hey guys, remember how we were
Alright.
sneaking into an enemy fortress?
Yes, we need to sneak into the enemy fortress. Keldor keeps the people from you guys from being noticed while you're invisible, while we put on a show for the guards out there. That's as far as the plan as I've got forward. Hold up 2 fingers if you want Sugar to come get me. And that's the point where we know the plan's fucked up beyond rel recognition. That's how we're going to do this.
Okay, so, the first question I have is, as I said before, there appears to be like this tunnel carved out into the snow and ice sheets that you're walking on that seems to lead downwards. It seems like a pretty small tunnel, like at best you'd only get 2 by 2 going in. Team Sneak, are you invisible? Like, are you cloaking yourselves up and heading in first, or are you heading in
I will cast
behind
all
them?
the invisibility. Yeah, I will cast all the invisibility and go in first.
Oh, Gen3's got invisibility sphere. That was the plan.
Yeah, it depends on
We're
what you want to
debating
do.
between- Yeah, I don't want to have to
We have
stand
to-
within 5 feet of you guys to be invisible.
Yeah, that means we have to stay close to Gen 3. I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean,
And if we're
Okay.
walking down if we're walking into a tunnel that's only 10 feet wide or something, we don't exactly want to have like a 10-foot wide bundle of people going down like a clog in the drain, right?
Got it.
so, Varka, you're throwing out your 4 invisibility spells
That is correct.
to get Team Sneak, and you guys are heading down first. Okay, so,
I am going first.
That's fine with me.
And as soon as
alrighty.
people the way I envision is we all start like walking, and Flick just turns around and is like,
No, back. Give me room. Didn't we learn this last time?
By the way, Bako just wants to say that whenever everyone's invisible, the invisible people won't be able to see each other, so just try not to bump into each other.
And Keldor
Good
makes
point.
it to where none of us leave any tracks either.
Oh no.
oh god, we're not gonna lose another 10 feet into the cave. Okay, guys, so the plan fell apart.
No, it's good. Go, we can do this.
Oh.
Like, take one... Hold on, here's the way we do this. For every second, just take 1 step. For every second, Flick takes 2. and you guys won't bump into each other.
Okay, yeah, the tokens are about the right size. That's cool. Just checking. So, I can now.
Okay,
drag
okay,
your-
wait. Before we do this, before we all disappear, here's what we're gonna do, okay?
Oh shit! It all went black.
I'm gonna go first.
Ba-doo.
Because even if I can't see things first, I can hide from them better. And I can check for unforeseen things that somebody might not be telling us about. And when I'm going ahead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chalk while I'm invisible. And as soon as I've gone ahead and cleared a section and made sure that there's nobody there looking at us or anything like that, I'm going to put a small chalk mark on something that you can only see from behind me. Okay? So the way we're going to do it is I'm going to set the chalk mark, and you're going to walk up to nowhere past that mark. And then I'm going to go check the next section, mark it, you go forward. Okay?
Marco nods his head.
All right.
Yeah, I guess Vako's the only character who's in this group with me, isn't he?
Yeah. Gen 3 also kind of gives like a, yeah. I was just gonna kind of stay at the back and not be scared.
Well, you know the back is the second most important position, right?
Can I go in the middle then?
Better idea. Yeah. Keldor, you got the back, okay?
So it's me, Vako, Keldor, and Gen 3, right? Is it just us four?
Yep.
Anybody I'm forgetting?
Your
Okay.
team sneak.
Okay. Just making sure I got everybody in my head, picturing the right characters. So,
All right, so unless anybody has any other suggestions, I'm going to go forward. And if I put... Okay, I'm going to put just some sort of symbol so that it looks like it's not necessarily like a check mark here or something like that. But if I put an X, it means stop. And I'm going to come back and talk to you. Okay?
Okay, but if you find out any names, of the people, like just overhearing them,
Yeah.
write down a hurtful message about them with the chalk, and that might sow some more dissent.
I like the way you think.
I know how to get in these people's heads.
all right. I guess I'm ready to go.
All right. If you want to start moving yourself down this quite tight little tunnel that they've seemingly dug out of the ice.
Tightest tunnels are the best tunnels. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so I'm just going to move to this position first, because that's probably the last spot where they'll be able to see a mark. And I don't know what you want for rolls going down this thing. I know it, well, we didn't actually ask him if this was like their primary tunnel or anything, did we?
This appears to be like the only entryway, like only noticeable entryway in. So this is, if you look down the floor, you can see this is a very heavily traveled path.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to proceed through here. I am going to keep an eye out for traps, especially like keeping an eye on footprints to see if there's any. I'm looking for like weird spots that it looks like, oh, why would they avoid that area? Why is everybody going around this thing that doesn't seem like a thing, or stuff like that?
All right. Roll a search check for that.
Okay. Search is under S.
Here comes Flick doing what he does best.
There doesn't appear to be any noticeable areas. The one thing you notice most of all is it appears as if the footprints, they only seem to go in two lines. One line going outward, one line going inward. It appears to be immensely well organized. Almost as if they are highly trained militaristic type folk. And I've just seen we done got raided from Torn Pixie with a raid of 10 people. Thank you.
Woo.
Welcome to
Uh,
the party.
that's my line.
Beat you to it.
So, and with that, you also notice they they do as much as they can to stay as central and not pushing up too close to walls. Because if you're being honest, this doesn't look like it's super well enforced and protected. So, if you would start slapping walls a bit too much, you could collapse this whole tunnel.
Okay. Duly noted. I hope my team is smart enough to see that. Cut to 30 seconds later when we're all dead. So I get to that corner there and I leave just like a smudge of white across. Like what I'm doing is I'm going up to like the point where I start, which I'll do from this point here. And at each point, I just look for the farthest away point on the wall that I can still see from here. And then I'm going to search my way to that point and then mark it and then proceed if everything is safe. And I'm just going to continue to try and do that
Yeah.
down these different sections here.
I said it appears to be perfectly safe as such. There doesn't appear to be any. There's nobody in this tunnel currently, aside from you guys.
Yeah, that's.
And
I'm trying to speed it up a little bit.
And since it seems to be an entry and exit way, there doesn't appear to be any traps because that would seem almost counterintuitive as such. So, yeah, you can start moving through pretty quickly.
Okay.
And obviously,
so yeah, we'll get up to about here, I guess. And like I said, at each point where it breaks line of sight, I'll just leave a little mark on the wall, hoping that the group follows me. There we go. And yeah, when we get up to this point, or depending on what I see, I guess is what I'll do next.
Okay. As you start to push through, I mean, this tunnel is almost entirely pitch black as such. There's no flames or anything because that would seem rather silly to put torches inside a tunnel made of carved out ice and snow. But you obviously do get a light source as you kind of push forward a little bit further, and you do see two hobgoblins. They look somewhat similar to PP, except one you would recognize, like not a specific person, but more the regalia he has on. It's similar to the one which appeared to be leading the warband before, so it's kind of got like a red fur. I don't want to say coat. It's just like decoration around his chest area, and appears to be wearing less armor. That is the blue tinted fellow.
Okay.
And
but these
green,
are all hobgoblins, right?
yes, these are both hobgoblins.
Yeah, okay.
And the green tinted fellow, he appears to not only have this very impressive mark of authority with like a red thing, he appears to have like a chain going across his left chest with some kind of symbol, like of essentially looking at it as a first glance, you go, ooh, that's an even higher level of authority. And these two seem to be standing in front of a door leading deeper in. Once you get to this point, you also do start to notice and realize that this is man-made, like as in human. Like you look into this room and you go, this is like solid. This is very. It's somewhat reminiscent of the castles at both Dundee and Scarfell. It's kind of got that. Whoever originally built this was probably very important. It seems well made. It just seems like it was built in a stupid place.
Okay. But the tunnel that we're in now is not man-made, right? This looks like a tunnel that busted into this already hewn-out room.
Yeah.
Okay. And on the map here, the downward wall, is that a solid wall, or is that an entryway going somewhere else?
I will mark where the only noticeable entryway is. That would be there.
Okay. Gotcha. Then I will mark an X for the guys to see in case they're within visual range, and I'm going to move silently first off while doing this. And that's a 30. So I'm going to turn around and start slowly going back down the hallway, and I'm going to pull out the troll gut rope, and I'm going to leave it like coiled on my shoulder. I'm going to pull out the two ends, and I'm going to basically extend them out like I'm thinking like praying mantis antennae, and I'm just going to use them to sweep back and forth and feel through the cave for my invisible friends.
Okay. So, Varko, you'd be following up behind Flick. As you're continuing forward, obviously keeping an eye out, you probably noticed similar things. And as you progress forward, you feel this sloppy, slimy thing kind of rubbing against your waist.
Interesting.
Well, as soon as I feel him with the rope, I'm gonna like sort of like pull myself in towards him using the end of the rope, just like knowing where he is. And as soon as I get like close enough, I'm gonna try and feel him with my own arms, just so that I can get nice and close and whisper to him quietly.
Yeah.
I quickly crouch down in case he feels up.
As Flick just reaches his hands up. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, I feel kind of a sloppy thing around my waist too.
Well, it'd be more in your face.
Yeah, so I
crouch down to Flick.
yeah, I get in close to him.
Okay, so this the next room around the corner has two big hobgoblins in it, and they look like. Wait, where's everybody else? And I start feeling around, trying to pull everybody else in before they get past me and go down.
Yeah. What Game 3 has been doing is he's got his quarterstaff out, and he's kind of using it in a similar way to like a blind person does with their cane. He's doing that in front of him so he doesn't walk into any of the invisible people. So you'll get tapped with a little wooden staff. And you go, yep, there's Gen 3.
Ow, my eye. Ow. Okay.
Sorry. And
So-
Keldor's been sweeping behind, and he's erasing the tracks, so he knows where you guys have stopped. Like, he'll just stop and be like, hey, I'm actually capable.
Okay, so we got two guys in the next room, and they look like the same rank as the leader of the troop that attacked us, and then one guy looks like he's probably a higher rank. But I can only see two of them, and there's what I assume is a locked door past them.
Did that door have any openings in it, like a visual slot, or was it just a solid wooden door with no window?
It appears to be not so much like a solid wooden door. It is a doorway, and at one point there probably was an actual door, but
Okay.
The door that would have been there has long rotted away and has just been replaced with, a very haphazard. It's essentially like two tower shields that have been stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
So the door isn't going to be a problem, but we got these two guys to take care of. So, and I really don't want to raise the alarm. Well, we shouldn't be raising the alarm at all. We should just wait here for the other team to pass us and go in. Right?
Yes. That was the plan, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Genfrey and Keldor have no qualms about it. They go, well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, because if we start anything, that's just a bad idea.
The door, the shield door, did it look like there was enough room around it that if I took my time, I could just get through it without it being open?
What you could do, the walls and ceiling are quite high in here. They're, very good 20 feet high, and obviously this is two tower shields, so that only goes up 10 foot. If you felt you could climb the walls and scale over the top of this door, you could. It's just if you feel the rest of your sneak team could do that as well. I mean, this is brickwork inside, so it's not easy to climb, but it's not hard. It's not like sheer concrete. There are bits you could grip and all kinds of things.
Okay, I'm confident in my ability to get past there. I'm not confident in everybody else's ability, like, or all of us to make it. Somebody's going to mess up. So what we should do is we should just wait for the other team to come through, and when they go through the door, they just leave a little more space in between each person, and one invisible person goes behind each person in the party.
Yeah, Genfrey and Keldor are 100% okay with that plan. Are you going to send anybody back up to convey this to them, or are you just going to wait for them to come down?
Invisa Spudnik.
Yeah, Spudnik will just... He'll fly back up and think at them and fly back down. So,
Yeah.
this only took you, like, maybe 30 seconds to slowly walk down there, so...
Probably less time than it took to describe it.
Oh, definitely. So, team prisoners, team captive, team... I don't even know.
Team suicide?
Listen,
I believe that's more of a squad.
if you want to call us Suicide Squad, go ahead. It's the appropriate term.
But then I'd be associating us with a terrible movie. So,
There's
shots
a better
fired.
version of it, though.
We might be. They have an orc? I don't think so.
No, they don't.
See?
They also are not friends with someone called Pee-Pee. So,
It's true.
I don't know. Maybe one of them is.
And Flick is at least as sexy as Harley Quinn.
you know, like, at least.
Yeah.
So, who's your Joker then?
I don't want to be that Joker anyway.
No.
Any other Joker in history. I don't want to be that shit Joker.
Yeah.
You'd be
I'm a
happier.
thug.
You'd be happier with even like Cesar Romero, you know, who I'm sorry had to be insane. He put makeup over his mustache, like 100% in character.
I would. At least that would be entertaining to watch.
Okay, so team prisoner, PP kind of holds you back, and you know, he knows how long it takes for tunnel. So after about 30 seconds, he'll go, they will be down now. Go. And he'll start leading, and then you'll all get a thought projected to you of Spudnik going, we've come across the door, we're going to wait and sneak in after you so we can progress further without causing any alarm.
And while we're waiting for them to come down, I'm going to be like,
Okay, Keldor, we need you inside, so you go first. We're gonna have to slot in behind the guys as they come. So the first person that goes by, you go right in behind them. Then Gen3, you go right in behind the next person. Then Vako, you go right in behind the next person, and I'll take up the rear. And just in case I don't make it in, I can climb it. Okay?
All right. What are you guys? Are you? Is Team Sneak just gonna wait in the tunnel, or are you gonna move into this room and just keep out of the way?
ooh. How's everybody been at moving silently so far? Has
So
Gentry
far,
been like klutzing around, banging off things? Or...
So far, you haven't had to worry about it because there's been no one around to possibly hear you.
Okay.
This would
well,
be
I
the
would
deciding
like us to
factor.
go... Yeah. It looks like the tunnel right at the end of the tunnel is wide enough for us to just like back up to the sides of it and leave plenty of room down the middle, and the other group could get through.
All right.
Is that what it is? Like,
Yeah, but well, as I said, there is obviously enough room for two people to walk side by side down here.
yeah.
So
So
it's just not
yeah, so it should be-
super
yeah.
tight. Like
Should be
it's
easy
quite
enough for us to
squished to do that. And like when I say quite, I mean very squished. So
Okay.
okay. Team Prisoner, do you have an order in which you are being marched forward? Obviously, PP will be leading you. And how you
Will he
show
or will he be behind them?
good question. I was assuming he'd kind of walk in front, and there'd be like essentially a chain gang just made out of rope behind him.
I would assume he'd be behind them with a crossbow or something. Is the only convincible way of.
Well,
like the four of them could just jump him.
Believe it or
Women
not,
in front.
PP is not a master strategist, so this would be
Yeah.
somebody else's call to decide.
And I'm not there to suggest this now, so.
Yeah, so this would be a team prisoner group decision of what you think would look the most convincing.
Let's see.
Prim internally
Eliza
doesn't
first.
want them.
I don't know.
What'd you say, Prim?
I was just gonna say, Prim, they may. I'm not sure if they're gonna say it out loud or not, but they don't want the side of Eliza in this place.
Okay.
I guess they were kind of
Makes
ditching
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Let's put Eliza in front.
Okay, so we've got Eliza at the front.
Anybody have an objection to putting Zindrix second?
What are we doing with Sif?
Sif gets to stay outside.
Let's say
Okay.
we can leave Sif with the horses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
He'll be fine.
How tall is Zindrix?
Not super tall. I think I'm gonna have to check the character sheet now. Did you mark that height? 4'2".
Okay. Oh goodness, Jesus Christ. Well, Prim would like to be in behind. Well, technically, Prim is the tallest one besides Aegis. So they'd be able to see Eliza anyway.
Yeah.
No matter who
Yeah.
does that.
Put Prim in the middle.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
Okay. So Prim behind Zindrix. Kid, are you taking up the rear, or are you leaving that to Angus?
I'm gonna leave Angus at the back.
Yeah. And
We need
then
someone to stop him, and we need to make it look like there's someone to stop me.
And then, as a group of prisoners, what do you think you would have decided PP's position, front or back, to like force you in or to drag you in?
Are our hands bound right now?
Yeah, I would assume that you have convincingly tied all of your hands together on some form of chain gang.
To make
Okay.
it more convincing, it seems appropriate for him to drag us in because
Mhm.
we're defeated
Yeah. So
and
we'll
they're
put
under his power.
put
Okay.
PP in the front, holding the rope and kind of pulling and dragging you all in. As you are being pulled in, are any of you doing anything to portray that you are captive? Are you trying to resist? Are you like acting like it, or are you just kind of acting defeated and slowly trudging along?
That's the only way this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely fine. So,
Do
Rose
we
beat
have
the kid earlier,
to-
so he looks like he's been injured.
I did hit you pretty well. Well,
Yes.
Prim knows how to
Teach.
Prim knows how to act defeated and be defeated. So I'm assuming they yeah,
okay,
they know how to
just
do it. I would assume.
moving tokens. Moving tokens.
It's a well-rehearsed play for you.
See, the good thing is we've actually done this sort of like chain gang thing before with tying ourselves together.
Yeah, you've got experience.
It's true.
So,
It was awful.
as you reach this point, PP kind of like pulls you in, and he exclaims something in Goblin, or Goblinoid, whatever the correct term is for language. It doesn't really matter. And the two people blockading this door, they kind of they look him up and down and kind of judge him, and they converse something back in Goblin, and he kind of then yanks the rope to pull his convoy of prisoners in, and they kind of go. Yes, yes, yes. It's all lots of high-pitched screeching and grunting, and it's just not a very pleasant language to listen to, quite frankly. It just doesn't hit the ear particularly well. And eventually, they both kind of go, and they go and they grab the two tower shields and they basically hold them and open the door forward for you, allowing you to see through into the next room, which is kind of just a. It just looks to be like a very plain, simple-looking room, and you guys are being dragged through.
And
Kid's
go.
Kid's going
Now,
to think very openly. I'm going to cause a scene for a second. Take the opportunity, and he's thinking that hopefully it's Spudnik, although he doesn't know exactly where that is.
yeah, if you're thinking it, Spudnik will pick up on it and transfer the thought to Flick.
Okay. As soon as PB starts dragging forward, Kid's going to just kind of start pulling back, saying things along the lines of, I'm not going back, not going back! Trying to have just a good enough freak out at what's going on. I'll let the cards fall as they may on what that action merits.
All right. So,
as soon as I hear Spudnik think that, I think to him,
Tell the invisible ones to go now.
yeah, Spudnik puts that thought across to everyone. Kid. For that, if you're going to do this, can you do a perform check for me? Because you are technically acting right now. Or if you'd prefer, you can bluff.
Both of those would yield the same result with me, I believe. So let me go ahead.
less than stellar.
Yeah.
Can any of us assist in rolling that?
If you're also doing the action to help.
Actually, like, personally, I don't know how criminals would react in the situation. Like, they'd be like, oh, this is awkward, or like, oh, God. Not
I
sure
don't know
how
why,
to
but that is wind instruments.
You have no ranks in it anyway, so it's fine. Okay. So, you're doing this, and the two hobgoblin guards, they kind of look at PP, who then, they kind of just, well, one of them just grunts like a single, and PP kind of, like, still holding the end of her rope, he walks down and just slaps you around the back of the head, kid. Not, like, super, just like,
No, it has to be convincing. It has to be hard.
oh yeah, it's
all according to plan.
It's a hard enough slap. Like, it's not like he's pulling a punch. It's just, I'm not actively hurting you with this. It's more a shut up. And with that, he will start leading you through. Team Sneak. Now would be the time to start rolling move silently checks.
I am still waiting until everybody else goes through, because what I envision is all four of us running invisible, trying to get through the same gap and running into each other like bowling pins in a kid's cartoon and falling over and telling everybody exactly where we are. So that's the one thing I'm trying to avoid. And yeah, I'm just gonna wait till till the distraction's gone, basically, and I am still gonna follow the original plan and fall into one of the gaps in the group. Or like go through with them anyway.
Okay, so in that case, if you're purposefully holding back, Varko, you're now the point man of Team Sneak. Make you move. I've put little 5-foot spaces between every one of the ropes if you wanted to actively choose a point to slip through, or if you're just running through whenever.
I think I'm gonna wait until after Angus gets all the way in there, and then we can just slowly, quietly.
There's no guarantee that the hobgoblins are going to stay there.
Yeah, because I just don't want to stick around. Because I mean, if we have to end up making like move silently checks after the prisoner group has been gone, then that's gonna kind of suck. So I'd rather just kind of like walk with them when that happens, if that makes sense.
In what Gen3 is going to do, because Gen3 knows he's not like the best at this kind of stuff. What he's going to do is Gen3 is going to use his genius level intellect, and he oh, I cracked myself up at my stupid ass ideas. He is going to walk up behind Angus and as stealthily and quietly as he can grab hold of Angus's shoulders and slowly wrap his legs around Angus's waist and get carried through.
Why didn't we think of this?
This might actually be brilliant.
That's a 19 on the die with a +2, so that's a 21. For Genfrey's move silently as he just koala hugs onto the back of Angus, just being slowly walked through. It's even... I just feel sad because no one else can see this as Genfrey is just hugging the back of Angus, like...
I want to see what Angus's facial expressions are going to be of this.
Well, Angus, not knowing that this is the plan, there's a notable look on Angus's face, and he lets out "huh" as he feels something. Then he obviously just figures it out, and you kind of see him looking around, and the two hobgoblin guards, they kind of give him a suspicious look, and so what Angus then does, he looks at them and goes, "Ugh," and spits at one of them. To try and distract from him looking out of place. So the one who looks to be in the less superior position, so the blue tinted one, will walk up to Angus and headbutt him in the face. So, yikes.
Think now, run now. They aren't paying attention. Go.
Yeah.
So that's actually max damage on poor old Angus there from that. So he's taking that. Angus has got a bloodied up nose. As Genfrey's just holding on to the back of him.
Does Keldor at least take the advice and get through the fucking door?
Yeah, Keldor will. Keldor will be like,
okay, good.
Where's his stats? Keldor. Come on, character sheet. Skills. Move. Silently. Ba-doop. 19
Nice.
for Keldor. He is. Keldor just slips on by through into the next room. Everyone else, PP's going to continue moving right along. Once into this next room, Genfrey will let go of Angus and kind of just shuffle out the way.
And do I have to roll anything for getting through between Angus and Kid?
Just roll me a move silently, please.
Another 22.
Yeah, 22. You are absolutely fine. You can just sneakity sneaks on through. And Varco, 17. You are absolutely fine as well. As PP leads you through into the next room, it appears to be like quite a impressive looking like grand hall or something. The little circles you see on the map, these are pillars that go up towards the ceiling and kind of just hanging around doing stuff. There's a few hobgoblins. They all look to be the same rank as PP, except the blue tinted one, who's an important looking fellow. Not high level importance, same as before, warband leader level of importance.
Higher rank rather than higher level.
Yeah. At the end of the room, there also appears to be a big scary looking fellow. I will give a fun description of him in one moment.
I know what that is.
Oh, I'm sure you can all tell. I just want to give a fun description so your characters know what they're looking at. Yeah. So it appears to look like a human, except twice the size. This giant looks like a beefy, muscular human with a pale blue tint to their skin, and light and bright white hair and eyes, and a big beard. Attached to his back is a rather large-looking great sword. And he's just kind of sat down on what at one point was probably an altar place, but has been refashioned as some kind of chair. It's covered in furs of various animals. Some of these animals you don't really recognize. One looks somewhat similar to, Flick, it looks kind of similar to like the saber-tooth tiger that you've currently got strapped to your back, except without the saber tooth, without the giant fangs, and there appears to be this large-looking mane around its head area. It is a very white fur, though, as if it's designed to live in snowy environments.
Okay. Interesting.
Team Sneak, you have an option here because there is another door, as you can see.
In this room that we're in right now?
Yeah, so there's this door here, which seems to lead somewhere. Unlike that first area, this is an actual door. It seems to be metal in nature, and this looks as if it was original when it was built in here. So it looks a little bit rusted, but it's there.
And no spy hole through it?
There's a very small keyhole.
Okay.
But it's... You could try and look through it. It's just a bit... Well, as I said, it's very rusted over, so... make an intelligence check.
Okay. Flick's making intelligence checks. It's an 18.
Yeah. Flick, you're quite familiar with locking mechanisms. You know that, unfortunately, metallic ones, as they age and rust, they make quite a bit of noise. So...
Gotcha.
All
right, well...
It'd be probably quite easy, to the extent where you probably wouldn't even need to actually pick this. You could just hit it. Not like Flick just hit it. If Keldor was to hit it, the entire mechanism would just fall apart and you could push this door open. But
yeah, okay.
Whilst you're still in sneaky area, probably not a great idea.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll save that for later, but I can't see through the door to the other side to see if there's light or anything even, can I?
You can get a little sneak peek through. There isn't any light on the other side, but you can make out whatever this room is and was. It's basically been left not untouched, just nobody cares about it. At least not the hobgoblins here. So peering through, you see a few dust-covered barrels, a few crates and chests. There's nothing obvious out on display.
Okay.
But there's stuff to investigate.
Save this one for later.
Yeah. Yes, but with the door being so loud, I'm going to not bother with it for now. And I'm going to tell Spudnik to tell everybody who's invisible that this door over here, whichever direction I can use to indicate the door on the opposite wall from the one we came in. We're not going through that one right now. We should attempt to explore some of the other hallways and entranceways around here. Need to get a layout of this place.
Mm.
Oh.
So, with that, PP is going to continue moving. He's still dragging Team Prisoner through. As you get pulled into this large-looking hall, you do notice there's quite a number of hobgoblins. They're all kind of just milling around, doing stuff. Some have got food, some are sat around doing nothing. This appears to be like a basic common area for them. They don't appear to be doing anything except they do move out of your way, but they kind of glare, and some of them even shout things at you in Goblinoid. It feels very unpleasant. Actually, the first thing PP does is when he notices the large-looking fellow at the end, he kind of stops what he's doing and like gives a bow and a military salute, and he speaks in a different language to the goblin you were hearing. Does anybody speak giant?
Nope.
Not me.
We don't.
Nope, never mind. So he kind of just says something, it's like, and
The little scat.
It's lots of that.
When two giants are arguing, it's literally just them ferociously scatting in the different distance.
And the giant kind of replies, and it's this, and with that he kind of lets out a big hearty laugh, and he kind of looks at the prisoners as they walk through, and he kind of strokes his big thick beard as if he's assessing. He goes, he doesn't make any obvious move. He's very happy sitting on this impromptu throne of sorts. With
as I get to
yeah.
as I get to where I am on the map there, I'm going to sneak into the room and then come out from behind this pillar there and sort of walk out into the middle, and I'm gonna look around at everybody, and I'm just gonna jump up and down and wave my hands in the air, looking at the giant and seeing if he sees me.
Move silently check, please.
Okay. Move silently. It's probably under M. It's almost like this thing's alphabetical or something. That's a 32.
Yeah. You make basically no sound when you do it. You kind of it's almost like you just know the best technique to jump and not make noise, and you kind of waving, and no one notices you. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to get Spudnik to think back to the Invisi crew. I'm going down to check one of these hallways here. It's going to be in Spudnik's voice, I guess, not mine. And I'll be back within 10 minutes.
Okay, so before I move prisoner crew down their path, Team Sneak, where are you wanting to spread? Where are you wanting to go and investigate collectively? So, Flick and Varko and the others will follow.
I'm going to start going and checking out that doorway over on the right there.
Checking out that
I'm
one.
at now.
Wherever Sugar's around, Sugar has blind sight.
And Varko, where are you wanting to go?
I actually want to stay right over here, because if it says he's gonna go investigate, that means I need to park my ass right over here.
Keldor.
That's what Flick was hoping.
Keldor being Keldor is like,
Yep.
I'm gonna follow Flick. We never get into trouble.
He can't know where I'm going.
Are you marking stuff still?
Not in the middle of the room, no.
Ah, shit.
Let's go ahead and put Keldor.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic here. He's probably not going to bother with a door, but an opening. he'd probably go down there without even thinking.
Yeah, so Keldor's going to go check out down here. Varko's waiting there, and Genfrey is just kind of be like, oh. Genfrey's just like, you know what? What Genfrey has done is Genfrey has decided to like just follow, like, just he's tapped Keldor with his staff, and he's like, I'm keeping close to you. So he's just following that way. So,
Okay. Critical to the plan.
Team Prisoner, you are being led down here. And
I thought that was going to be a bigger deal when we brought them in, but I guess we have no idea what was said, do we?
Well, we can all see the blue guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make a knowledge check to determine if this actually is the fable thing I'm talking about?
Are you trying to assess it, like, if this is the like a particular creature, or if it's a particular person, or?
I'm trying to assess if this is actually a frost giant.
Yeah, that's a knowledge nature.
It's been a very long time since I've seen one, but like, dang, stick with you. Supposedly.
Oh yeah,
Dice says.
that kind of thing would stick with you. Knowledge nature of 23. That's a frost giant. And they're a bit bigger than you remember.
If Prim, once Prim determines that it is the frost giant, they try to keep it hidden. They're in their incognito right now, but Prim is nervous, like exceptionally nervous and not happy with it.
Oh, it's almost like this plan could blow up in all of our faces at any possible
It's
second.
like we could die. That's fine.
Yeah, it's almost as if this might not have been the greatest idea. Okay, so before I follow on with Flick and whatnot, Varko, are you following Team Prisoner, or are you waiting here and going off on your own to do other things?
And are they going to close this door right over here? Because I
Um,
don't have an idea.
Yeah, that area there, that's not so much like a door, that's just an open passageway. Most of these,
okay.
like, I will tell you which ones are marked and which ones are not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
so you
I'll stay where I am then, because if it's not going to close up or anything, then I don't need to worry about it. I'll just stay where I'm at.
Yeah, okay. So, Team Prisoner, you are being led up this way. So, Flick, you will see where they're being taken.
Yep, and I will make a note of that.
Keldor and Genfrey.
How big is it, by the way?
How big is, like...
Frost giant.
Oh, the frost giant. Like 15 to 20 feet tall.
I don't know how tall
Good
people are where you
possibility
live, but
for
20
both.
feet is 4 people.
So, before I continue on with Team Prisoner, Flick, you're looking at this. This doorway here. You can kind of look through it. Once again, there's not like an actual door as such. In fact, there's nothing blocking this, but obviously you can only see so much through the small hallway.
Yep.
You can't really make out loads if you're looking directly through. You'd have to maneuver yourself to try and see the entire room. Are you doing that before you step in?
I can't see anything through the door before I poke my head through? Like I had to see like a hallway going down? Or
if you look like just directly through, you can kind of be like, oh yeah, I can see like to there. There doesn't seem to be like, this doesn't seem to lead anywhere. There seems to be like one single room.
okay, I will I will like peek my head in around here so I can reveal the top part and see what's up there.
Okay, so the first
Just poking my head in around the corner, ready to jump out in case somebody can't see me.
The first thing you see when you peer in that way, you see another hobgoblin. This one seems to be even more decorated than the highest one you've noted so far. He seems to have like marks of war trophies and all sorts on him.
They've all looked like warriors so far, though, right? None look like spellcasters.
Sorry, I should have been specifying. The blue-tinted ones, they appear to look like spellcasters, and that's why
Okay.
they're in a position of authority. The green-tinted
Gotcha.
one, they didn't look as if they had any like spellcasting capability. In fact, they seem to be equipped with like 2 scimitar-looking weapons. And this one, as you look through, he appears to wear no armor. He's got his bare chest out, and it's inscribed with very arcane-looking tattoos. He looks very magical, is the easiest way to describe it. But he's not the thing you're paying most attention to. You'd be paying attention to the fact that he is ankle height to another big, scary, blue-skinned, beefy, muscular-looking fellow who
great.
is sat on an even bigger, scarier-looking throne, draped in furs, so much so that even whilst he is sat, there only appears to be, and this is like a good 30-foot tall room, there appears to be less than 5 feet between him and the ceiling.
Jesus Christ.
And then the other thing, you notice a familiar woman. White hair, very beautiful looking dress, side shaved, and with a white dragon claw mark.
Oh.
As she appears to be conversing with this rather large-looking fellow, who, most noticeably on his shoulder, like the cat-type creature you saw lining, this man, giant, appears to have an even bigger, more ferocious one of those. In fact, it almost looks primal, with giant fangs. That is mounted on his shoulder as a trophy of war.
Okay, so the other frost giant was probably, I don't know, his son or something, or some other aspiring frost giant. This one looks like he's the bigger Papa Daddy of the two, right?
Oh, he looks like the daddy.
Yeah,
He's
and
the top.
and the magic user that's in the room, the little pink hobgoblin to his right, is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah. He
okay.
kind of looks like he definitely appears to be in a position of command.
Okay.
So you'd go, oh, that's Hobgoblin Chief, and they all appear to be conversing with this woman. They are speaking in common, so you will know what they're saying. Yeah, please.
Is anybody looking towards the door where I am, or are they all looking like at each other?
They're more focused on the prisoners, and then when the prisoners walk through, they return to doing what they were doing. So, drinking, eating, calling each other stupid. I don't know.
No, I mean the two in this chamber.
Oh, in this chamber? No.
Yeah.
They are definitely focused on their conversation.
Okay, cool. And can I hear anything they're saying?
Yes.
Or do I need to move closer?
You can hear what they're saying. It's almost as if the giant's voice is so loud it echoes through with minimal effort. So the first thing you hear is the woman conversing, and she goes, "Well, now, Mr. Lion, your greatness, your manly, virile, giant dickness that you are, you super fantastical pinnacle of Anyhow, I'm here on behalf of the society, and we were merely inquiring if you have considered our offer." And the hobgoblin steps forward as if to speak, and he kind of goes like, "And almost immediately as he steps forward and is about to talk, you notice what at first you couldn't really tell. It just appeared to be like a chain, and you go, oh, it's just giant. He's got chains around him. That's cool. What else are you going to use to keep your loincloth up? You notice that it gets swung down, and this actually appears to be a huge flail. So the chain is attached to this spiked ball at the end. As that ball thumps down, and it is almost the same size as the hobgoblin. This is bigger than you. It's like 4 foot in girth as it collapses in front of a hobgoblin as the giant speaks in a surprisingly fluid common tongue. God, I had the accent and I lost it in my brain.
Hi guys.
Hang on. I'm gonna have to go back to like what I used to do with Angus, and just say like a single phrase. So a little bit of fucking yeah. So I'm listening
Hello,
to.
everybody. I'm an ice giant.
Why would you assume it's Scandinavian? That's not correct.
Frozen Tagen.
So yeah, get into the voice here. It's it's more than here because it's a proper deep voice for the giant. He's down here, and he kind of looks down at a really tiny, insignificant lady, and then he glares at his well, quite frankly, the only appropriate word to describe her is a bitch. Well, him. We're looking at his hobgoblin, and he's just a bitch. And he looks down at the woman, and he goes, "Now listen here. I don't care if you guys if you are whatever you're calling yourselves now, your society. I don't care if you got your dragon. It's quite frankly means nothing to me. I got my own home. I got my own kingdom. Who the fuck do you think you are? Coming into my home. I'm insulted by you. And it's a very aggressive vibe. But the fact that the woman is not fazed at this at all, she's very dismissive. She's looking at her nails and kind of picks her teeth a little bit as he's doing this like very aggressive tone down towards her. And
they're all very, very distracted.
Yeah.
I lean into the room and just again like flail my arms to see if I can catch the attention of anybody. And then immediately like duck back out before they have a chance to see my face.
Okay, that'd be move silently.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a 20.
Nobody seems to be looking at you. Yeah, they're more distracted. The hobgoblin's more distracted by the fact he almost got crushed. The woman is. She's found a chipped nail. And the lion. He's about to go into some big old spiel about his homeland, his kingdom, and he doesn't need to work under any puffed up lizard thinking it's more important than it is.
Spudnik is invisible on his own, right?
Technically, Spudnik would only retain the invisibility whilst with you.
Okay.
Because, unless a fifth invisibility spell was used on specifically Spudnik.
Yeah. I didn't know if we had enough people to cover that or not. All right. I reach up and I give Spudnik a little scratch on the head, and I tell him to message to everybody else that we found the real lion. He's not the first frost giant we saw. There's more than one. And he's got a powerful magic user pet but they're in an argument right now. I'm going in. And with that, I duck around the corner, and I'm running into this chamber, and I'm using hide as I can to stay in the corner and out of the magic user's line of sight. And the goal is to basically run around behind them and to check the walls for secret doors and the throne for a secret entrance or anything like that I can while they're not looking at me.
Okay.
And I want to go, like, ideally after I get past the throne, I'm going to go all the way around the room and check for secret doors or staircases or anything everywhere.
I'm going to put that on pause.
Okay.
So we're going to come back to you scouting out that room.
That makes sense, yeah.
And
Least intention.
Yeah. We're going to do one final thing before we take a quick break. Prisoners, you get continued along your path. Stupid mouse, don't go screwy on me. And you get led up into that room, up there, in which there are...
Jesus Christ.
There are several other types of prisoners. PP guides you up into this room, and as you are taken into this room, the the green hobgoblin there, he as each one of you walks in, each of the pillars in this room, there are chains coming down from them, and these chains end in manacles. As you are marched in, these first two pillars here, he walks you over to them, and he attaches manacles to you before the rope gets undone, and leaves, and he just leaves you chained up in here. Also in the room, there appears to be some orcs. Primrose. These are very obviously members of the Black Claw. You get to share a prison cell with some. Have fun with that. Also in the room, there appears to be a small collection of small lizard-like yapping dog people. And then at the end, there is a large-looking half-man, half-bull hybrid. And then, keeping control over this entire room, appears to be another frost giant who is he's just standing there, looking out like, fucking guard duty.
So everyone in this room but the frost giant is the prisoner, right?
And the hobgoblin.
Oh, and the two hobgoblins on the left there, yeah.
Well, one of them's PP.
Well, PP and, yeah.
Yeah. And with that, the goblins converse in Goblin, and PP is dismissed. He is told he has to go through this doorway here. And he is followed by the green hobgoblin. So, this is a perfect place to take a quick break. And we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. So, yeah.
I'm so nervous right now. Holy crap. Legitimately nervous.
Be afraid. We'll see you all in about 5 minutes, everybody. So until then, sit tight.
See ya.
and that should be us back. Oh, one moment. I think that's gone awry. They can hear me, but I don't know if they can hear you. Somebody talk?
Hello.
There we go. Yeah, definitely. It hadn't gone awry. It was just me being silly. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the party. In case you weren't aware of what's going on, our heroes have got themselves into a little bit of a sticky situation. Half of them are currently chained up and in a prison cell. Two of them are wandering
Voluntarily?
voluntarily. Two of them are wandering around uncharted enemy fortress. And the smallest, squishiest member of the team is sneaking around a giant throne room.
The one thing I didn't think about, I took all the risks into account, like my life and Spudnik's life, but I should have left the bag with everybody's shit outside this room.
So,
Hey, that's part of the plan.
before we jump right back on into all of the action, hey, welcome to party. Great place, great people. Discord link down below. Also, every time you subscribe here on Twitch, you are entitled to surprises and special offers and awesomeness and all kinds of great stuff. For every month you are subscribed, you can give a free natural 20 or critical success to any player from any game on this channel of your choice. So, do that. Also, if you would like to donate some bits, for 500 bits you can affect a game in a minor way, so critical hit or instant success on a roll or some such thing like that. If you type it into the chat, I will read it and I'll go, I accept that offer, and you throw the bits and then the thing happens. If you want a big thing to happen, that is 1,000 bits, and big things occur. So you want to mess around with my game and make me cry by making ridiculous things happen, go right ahead. It'll be fun. If you want to screw over a player because you don't like their face, you can. So,
Good to know what we encourage here.
Yeah. With all of that said, Varko, how are you progressing through all of this?
Baco is just going to calmly remind himself that everyone is okay, that no one's dead yet.
And if everybody is dead, you're closest to the exit.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
he's just thinking, backing up, he's like, all right, I think I just go straight through that small tunnel, and then I'll make it out there. And I remember leaving the horses of the carriage out there, and everything's okay. They'll all be dead. I'll be the only one alive.
Varko, you little fucking bitch!
No, I think I might give you.
You've just gone, I just need to get past these two guys, and I'm invisible, so...
I think that was a if we all die.
It's a when you guys all die.
Okay, yes.
So, if you're choosing to hold your ground there, play it safe, go, I'm safe here.
Yeah. I'm just like pacing back and forth. I'm like, oh, should I go? Is everyone okay? Like, maybe I should get a little bit closer this way. Oh no, I think they're fine.
If you start to smell the aroma of roast halfling, you know it's time to go.
Okay, so you know what? Let's focus on Team Prison, because I like leaving TJ going, oh, what's gonna happen to me?
You son of a bitch.
So, prisoners, you are chained to these pillars. You have about 10 foot of maneuverability. You can move around on this chain. What are you doing? You're in this room. There are orcs and kobolds and a minotaur and a frost giant, a very disinterested looking frost giant. He's kind of just slumped up, like he's sat on the floor, slumped up against the back wall, smoking a pipe, not paying attention to you. Like,
How are we chained up?
manacles attached to your hands. Like your hands aren't together. Your hands are separate, but they go into a chain, and that chain is embedded into the pillar. Like there's a large-looking iron spike, which has pinned it into the pillar, about 10 foot above you.
Okay. Well, I mean, the first thing Prim would do is like to Eliza, make sure she's okay.
Yeah. Eliza's like, yeah, I'm fine. Nothing's happened yet. Don't like it.
Okay.
But I'm not dead.
Okay.
True.
You said there were black claw orcs nearby, right?
Yes, if you on the map, those are the 4 orc tokens which are on the pillars directly next to you. They're kind of sat down. They appear to have no weapons with them. They are still in their basic armor. They're kind of sat down. One looks as if it's picking its teeth. One is kind of, playing a game of like tic-tac-toe against themselves on the floor. The other 2 are like just conversing. Like they seem fine, like as well as they can be for a prisoner as such.
Well, Prim isn't one to pick a fight, and they have no idea if these are the same ones that were part of that tribe back then, 40 years ago. Like the same, like they're probably offspring of the ones that were in the tribe 40. What was what Primrose would guess. But
They don't look particularly old. The oldest one amongst them maybe looks like they're pushing towards 40-ish.
So Prim would probably know.
Yeah, logically.
I mean, it Prim is. They're not gonna make a scene about it. They're just gonna. Probably know who I am. It's fine. It's just don't like them being here, but that's just how it's kind of mentality.
Okay. Kid, how are you feeling?
So we're looking around at, like, he's just kind of analyzing, looking around, but trying not to be too conspicuous about it. Looking to see everyone is just kind of, they're allowed to sit and converse.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. You said I've got about 10 feet of clearance?
Yeah.
Okay. That gives me exactly what I'm looking to do. All right, next question. Are there, like, any pebbles on the ground, or is the floor fairly clean?
There's rubble and pebbles. Like, if you look around, you see that yes, some of this fortress is falling apart. Like, yeah.
Okay.
If you were a giant, you could have smashed this place up if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what Kid's going to do is using whatever he possibly can, feet or whatever. He's going to just kind of go down and start collecting like tiny little rocks, obviously ones that aren't big enough to use as weapons.
Yeah.
And he's going to go over to the orc that's sitting there playing tic-tac-toe with itself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to give 2 of the rocks to the orc and basically sit opposite from him. And right as the orc is about to either mark a circle... Actually, no. Kid's going to take the X, because X's are what win.
So as you do that, the orc kind of looks up at you, gives a grunt, and in a somewhat broken form of common, just kind of looks and goes, "You bested in battle too?"
Yeah. He got me.
And with that, he gestures to you to make your move.
Kid's going to put an X at the very top if it's open.
Yeah.
Like top center.
He's drawn up a fresh table for it.
Mm-hmm.
As reference, Prim is watching Kid interact with this orc.
Yeah.
Prim is curious about these orcs because they're just curious about it.
So are you going for the top corner?
Top middle, and
Yeah.
we can go through this if we want.
Yeah, that's fine. Because it's an excuse to have a conversation. And he looks at the group of you and goes, as he goes for the center line left, like the middle, blah blah blah. Yeah, center line left cell. So he draws his little circle there and he goes, there is. He looks at like your group. Yeah, he goes, group looks easily.
What was that, Matt? I didn't quite hear it.
Yeah. So you heard where I said he marks, right? He marks the center row left column. And he looks over at you and then looks at your group and goes, would make sense. Your group looks fragile.
Some of us can't take a punch. I say, making my mark in the top right corner.
Prim will grunt at that remark. It's like,
to block you, he's going to go for the top left corner. And he just kind of, he keeps looking at it. You have half-breed.
We have what?
Half-breed.
Have it. Type that out, please. I didn't quite understand.
We have a half breed.
Oh, a half breed. Yeah, I think at least half of her is them is human. I say making the mark to block him off.
Yep.
Prim will glance towards the particular organ the one Kid is playing, and kind of. I'm going to say they're more going to study than like glare at them because they're studying, but they don't seem friendly about it.
Okay. So you've blocked him off at the bottom left. So he's then going to block your diagonal and go for the center. And with that, he just kind of, he looks at you, then scowls over at Primrose and goes, ugh. He's always astounding when they survive outside of tribe. They are left out there to die. Is what they should do.
You're testing me, Matt. Oh.
Let me see.
Sorry.
Kid looking down and realizing that he has been beaten in this game. Basically says, well, what about you? You seem a bit too smart to be in a place like this.
He looks down and like he knows he's won. He knows he's put you in an unwinnable situation. And he just kind of goes, numbers. Is because of smarts. In some ways better to live. And then he gestures down to his manacles and to be pet. You get fed, you get fight. At least this way I will die on feet and not in sleep.
Well, still, I would like to ask if you want to die on your feet like this. Would you
Here now.
would you rather do it going up against people that you just sit here and see every single day, people who've seen you, or would you like to go out in kind of a big way?
Well, Grumsh teaches us to die in battle is great honor. But for a battle to be great, it must have purpose. This is, at best, mediocre compromise.
And doesn't that just suck?
If Rars had choice, and he glances over to the frost giant, Rars would die, grabbing at a big one's eyeballs.
Okay. I'm gonna file that away, I say, just kind of manacle tapping my head a little bit.
You're in prison. Gotta have something for the spank bank.
Tell you what. Do you, you know that one? That one doesn't seem to listen too closely, does it?
He is bored. He is mainly here to kill time until fights begin.
Okay. About how long is that?
Well, you have just been brought in. Probably in a few moments.
Okay, thanks for the heads up. Tell me, are we all going in at the same time? Or are they going to try and pick us off?
Niet. Is man-on-man combat. And
Okay,
Oh no.
that's good to know.
Can Prim mumble something?
you can mumble
Orcish.
anything.
Well,
Uh-oh, Prim became
Orcish
a robot
is fun.
for a minute.
Sorry, you turned robot for a second, Prim.
Yeah.
Can you have me now?
Yes.
We can.
Okay. Prim will mutter in Orcish. Full breed style, or half breeds live longer than full breeds.
That's a statement.
Oh. Prim. The so I'm just gonna maneuver things around for reference here. Kid, you're in front of this fellow, and these two up here. Prim, when you say that, their ears pick up, and they both stand up,
Uh-oh.
and they quietly walk over towards you. One on either side, and one of them leans in and very quietly says in Orcish, "This full breed will live much longer than you. Today is your last."
Prim just sighs, and shrugs. Of course, I could do my last stand. Older than you are.
Primrose, what's your AC?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna tell that right now.
Oh shit.
Why does it say 61?
10.
Primrose,
Uh-huh.
the orc that didn't speak to you, but the one who's like essentially like behind you, you feel from their direction a sharp stabbing pain as something is inserted into whereabouts your kidney would be. 4
Okay,
damage.
well, sorry, how much damage?
4. And after that, he then whispers to you.
Which one?
The one who's just stabbed you in the kidney.
Shit just got real.
Is gonna whisper in Orcish. Half-breeds only live because they are weak and do not fight. And with that, they cross back and return to their seats. There's a very obvious patch of blood is starting to come out from where you've just been shanked.
With what? To shank with what?
A knife.
Okay.
Kid's gonna turn around and give you just kind of this look of disgust isn't the right word, but it's disappointment. It's just like with that progress lost.
Prim. Our Prim and Kid are parallel. Yeah. Kid does not speak orc, right? Or he does speak orc?
No, but he just witnessed what happened and realized that something got said that wasn't good.
Right. Well, okay. Well, Prim's going to growl at Kid and basically state, "It's my business, not yours."
Is there anything else you guys want to do in this scene quickly?
Kid's going to say, everyone get ready. You're going to be on your own during this. Try and keep a few of them alive. The more we have, it's going to be better.
Okay.
And one final thing from Prim. Prim will look towards Eliza. They'll look towards Eliza and say quietly, "Allow me to be selfish one last time."
Liza kind of looks at you with a confused, quizzical look on her face, like, selfish? How?
Prim doesn't answer.
At that moment, the hobgoblin from before, the green tinted one, who, as I said, they're one of the ones who got like red fur, like attached to their chest and look like a spellcaster of some description. He kind of steps back in, and behind him, you notice 4 other hobgoblins, one of which being PP, and they walk up and they attach a different set of manacles to all of the prisoners in here, in groups. So there's your group, which PP is in charge of, the orcs, the kobolds, and then the minotaur, all get chained up, and you all systematically get marched back out of here, and you are going to be heading down. I'm going to go back to Flick before I point out where you guys are being marched to. So, Flick, you were going to try and sneak your way around. And,
Yeah, looks like a good place to die.
so, first thing.
I wanted to reiterate that I am, like I said when I came into the room, I am trying to hide as much as I can while being invisible.
Okay.
Because I don't trust it.
Yeah, roll a hide check for me, please.
Okay. I'm super sneaking between all the different things, the
Yeah.
pillars and
Invisibility
whatever
is
else there is
like a
around here.
+40 to hide or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and
21.
invisibility gives a +40 to that, so...
Yeah. Actually, wow.
Yeah, invisibility is a +40 hide. It's amazing. So, that's a 61 for you. Yeah,
That's insane, yeah.
as far as you're concerned, you're golden.
Yeah.
And can you roll me a move silently as you're looking around, while moving around as well, please?
Certainly can. Do.
That one. No.
So 32.
Yeah, you're good. So you can quite easily maneuver your way around. And you want to... Are you searching the walls as you go around, or are you just waiting to get to the big looking throne?
No, I'm searching the walls as I go around, and then I'm looking all around the throne and the base of it for either like a mechanism or something that opens something, or even like wear marks where like a section of wall might slide, or where the throne might slide, or where he might put his big greasy palm every time for some weird reason, all different kinds of stuff.
Okay, roll me a search check.
Okay. Do. It's a 22.
22. You can't seem to find any signs of a mechanism or a movable area. What you do find is essentially a small pool of blood, which appears to have seeped through, judging from where he had his flail before. It essentially seems to be what drips down off of his flail down the back of here. So there's a sizable pool of blood right there, which is damn good you found, because if you hadn't, you might have accidentally stepped in it and left bloody footprints everywhere. So,
all right. Well, I'm going to specifically avoid that.
Yeah. So, good thing there. Obviously, they're still conversing. The woman.
Yeah.
She basically is going on, be like, the woman speaks, and she goes, "Your almighty masculineness, I am aware you have a loyalty to Zargoplex. I need to double check what I called him.
Zargo.
Yeah, Zargoplex, wasn't it?
Drax.
That's it.
Zargoplex sounds like a weird movie theater.
Yeah. I know you've got a loyalty to him, but how long has it been since you had actual contact? You've not been given any commands since you were told to keep hold of his prize. At which point the giant cuts her off and goes, "Whilst it is in... hang on, let me get the voice is there. It's there. While it is in my castle, it is my prize. So, you can keep your little mouth shut, lady." And she goes, "Whatever. We all know it only exists so that when the sorcerer can finally track down that troublesome McFife boy, he can break his heart before killing him. It's all a ploy, and quite frankly, big picture, why does this stuff matter to you? why do you care what this one silly sorcerer is doing? So what? He is trouncing his way through the kingdom. He burned Dundee to the ground. He's claimed Dunkirk as his throne. He's left you up here, quite literally, freezing your tits off and letting your balls shrivel to nothingness.
Wow.
Do you like someone keeping your balls in a little purse where you can only ask them sometimes, "Oh, please, Master Zarkafrex, can we go and raid a village?" Ooh.
Does that move silently check cover not laughing?
Don't laugh.
Don't laugh challenge.
Last thing you do before you die.
I am gonna decide, like, because this would make Flick really laugh, wouldn't
it? Usually.
Will save to stop yourself from laughing.
Just Flick's best save, for sure. Okay.
So many, we haven't gotten a single one yet.
So Flick,
I
mean, thankfully, Flick, you are accustomed to this kind of stuff, so it's not like going to be you fall over and bawl out laughing. It's going to be like a...
Yeah.
Oh, thank God our frickin' party's habit of making constant dick jokes finally pays off.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll attribute it to that.
Thankfully...
You rolled the dice yet? Thankfully, nothing.
Yeah. Thankfully, because I was just double checking how loud. She is interrupted by the lion slamming his fists down onto his throne, making a room shattering, like, thump. So your laugh is almost entirely deafened out.
Yes.
It's an almost.
Almost. I need to roll some checks.
Still hiding.
Yeah. The hobgoblin. The hobgoblin room. He kind of looks over and like he's confused. He thinks he heard something. As the lion stands up tall, and when he stands up, you realize that his head basically scrapes the ceiling here.
The 30-foot high ceiling. Jesus Christ.
Well, no,
Okay.
He's not quite 30 foot. He's like 26 foot. So, as far as you're concerned, yikes! He's basically touching the ceiling.
He's like 8 times taller than me.
Yeah, as he stands looming down on this measly 5-foot woman, and he just looks down and goes, "I am my own man. That trophy is mine. That frozen bitch is mine. I am not tied." Yeah, that went Russian. I am not tied to some pathetic sorcerer. When he comes up here knocking, I intend to break him. And then all of his hard work he has been putting in, everything he has claimed, it will be mine. And when I've done that, I'm going to take down your little lizard god. And the woman, she actually takes a step back at this, because like, okay. And she kind of goes, "Well, I believe my time here is over. Thank you." Claps her hands and disappears from the room.
Oh no.
Flick, and quite frankly, everybody, there is a loud horn blown kind of like. And Flick, outside of his room, you hear lots of footsteps and movement, and the lion kind of goes, He's going to come at a bit of time. I need to watch people killing each other. Because right now I want to kill something real good. And he begins to walk out. His little hobgoblin person has a good look around, even creeps behind the throne. He gets very close to where you are, and he's kind of looking and sniffing and looking around for stuff. He gets right up towards you.
The idea was I was going to try and hide under the lion cloak if it's still on the throne.
Yeah,
or
if
was
you
that
want
attached to him?
There's lion stuff on, like, he has one, which is like the biggest one, but there are other ones around the throne.
Yeah, I was going to try and hide myself in under those.
Yeah, that's great. If you want to make a hide check.
Sure.
Please don't pull a Polonius.
You know, if you keep saying that every time I roll a dice, eventually you're going to make it happen. It was a 28. Not this time.
And he didn't get an at 20, so you're safe. He even reaches forward and does, like Snape from Philosopher's Stone, and tries to grab at something, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes, kind of scowls and moves, following the lion. Prisoners, what has happened to you is collectively, I'm just going to grab all of you for speed and move you down to where you need to go.
Whoa, jeez. You all flew away, guys.
So let's reveal the path you will have been made to take.
Oh, hooray. Hey, there he is.
As you collectively all get led down to this large circular room, and there are there are two, because I was looking at something else. There are two side rooms in which you guys are all forced into one. So collectively, you're all going to get rammed into this one room up here, in a kind of holding cell, as it were. And basically, a small spattering of hobgoblins follow through to this because they want to watch the fights, and obviously the lion is coming down to watch the fights, and the frost giant who was in the prison cell, he's going down as well, and maybe a few others. What have I just done to Fat Kobold? Whoops. There's now Fat Kobold. There's now one Fat Kobold.
Adorable.
I'm going to name him Ham.
Now we have to get another one and name it Cheese.
Yes.
Wine. Barley.
One
Bread.
shall be named Ale.
Yeah.
And the last one, the one that we hate the most, shall be named Brussels sprouts.
So, the lion comes down. He takes a seat on a big-looking throne overlooking this fight pit, essentially. I'll grab all the other people and move them into here, who are just going to be watching. So, yeah, I'll just grab the ones who are in this room. Dear, I hate doing this on Firefox, because Firefox doesn't like me using the shift scroll to scroll sideways. It gets all pissy about it, so I'm having to do this slowly, manually.
Can't you just click your mouse wheel and drag?
I didn't think of that, because I'm not very clever.
That's what you got me here for, baby.
Yeah, that's not very easy to control. Nope, don't like it.
Gotcha.
Good idea. I'm just bad with it. So, yeah, you've all been marched to a holding cell. There's a bunch of spectators. The lion is watching. She's not there. She's disappeared. Varko,
Yes.
what are you doing? As you've heard this horn blow, and you have seen all the hobgoblins move, and I'm assuming if you peered through, you will have seen a bunch of prisoners marched through. If you also looked into the room, you will have seen the lion, who is very big and scary, and also very angry looking. From the room you just saw Flick go into earlier.
Bako's probably gonna assume everyone's dead.
Oh shit,
Oh,
guess I'll leave. Varko just gone, I'm done, bye.
This is at least 10 minutes longer than I agreed to stay over here.
Exactly.
So, are you following to find out what's going on with the prisoners, or like you've just seen a bunch of hobgoblins move around? So,
Yeah, I'll follow the commotion, I suppose. Just in case the team needs my help, I need to be there.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can't see them, but Genthri and Keldor, I assume, if they will have continued going a particular way, they will have found this area as well. So they're probably down somewhere, invisible. Because if they had continued on their path, it would have led round here. Flick, are you also following the commotion down?
I am fleecing the big guy's throne once again, looking for possessions this time, stuff to steal. And then I'm going to do that.
This room he's in, whilst the throne is big and impressive, this doesn't appear to be a treasury or a hoard.
Yeah.
This appears...
I know, I was just checking, mostly checking like under his furs and things, see if there was anything you wanted to keep really close to him, but if it's just a chair, that's fine.
Yeah, it appears that the only thing he keeps close to him is his weapon.
Yeah, that giant crazy flail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logic, like, you know that there is a treasury somewhere in here because the hobgoblins are being paid with something. So it's somewhere.
Presumably.
You just wouldn't know where.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep looking. Yeah, so I'll head out of that room, and I didn't necessarily see where everybody went, but the next place I was gonna go is down the hallway that leads towards that thing. Can I just check other doors and stuff on the way?
Yeah, you can walk past. When you come down past this hallway here, you notice it kind of leads there. It connects round. There appears to be a few doors along the way.
Okay. I'm assuming these are all hallway doors. They look kind of the same.
Most of these doors, these haven't been replaced by anything. These were all wooden doors, and they're kind of open. You can peer in. Most of them appear to be storage rooms. Food, ale,
Okay.
things like that. There doesn't appear to be anything like that. Like, logically, you would assume a treasury would be locked up and protected.
Yeah, somewhere else. So yeah, I'm not going to bother going through any of those rooms too deeply, unless I see any interesting equipment or anything. But yeah, I'll proceed through to. I'll check the doors in these two rooms. Are they both like storerooms or something as well?
Which room? Sorry, if you just.
In this room here, I'm checking the doors up here and down here.
Yeah. The top room. If I actually click on the right thing. Here. This appears to at one point have been some kind of essentially like a private prayer room back when this was inhabited by people. There's a few. There's a holy symbol. It's gold. It looks impressive. And there's like a few candlesticks or candelabras, sorry, and things like that. Basically, the stuff in here is worth money, but to these barbarous, brutish, aggressive people, it's like, well, it's not actual money. It's just, it's just shiny stuff. Like there's some artwork and there's some bits and pieces like that. It's nothing they could feasibly trade in, but
I'll just jack the holy symbol and keep on going.
Yeah. The other rooms attached to that, so this room here appears to be like an old maid's quarters. So there's a bed in there which has slowly fallen apart. There's like a small chest of drawers. If you rifle through it, you find like remnants of a diary, a journal, and it's basically, I hate living here. It's so cold. It's so cold. Why would they make a castle up here? This is stupid.
Yeah, I'm with you, honey.
And
and
this room here appears to be a small, like there was once a well in here, but it appears to have frozen over.
Okay. Well, I can hear sounds of all the people down this hall further down, right?
Oh, you can hear a lot of sounds. You can hear a collection of hobgoblins, or they are shouting one singular word in common over and over. And it is just kill, 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 kill.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, Spudnik, I want you to... No, you have to stay with... Okay, forget it. Let's go.
And we're going to turn around and head back up away from all the voices. And, I'm still over there. And I'm just going to start, because I didn't see anything that was up like this way where the actual prison was. I'm going to go down that hall.
Gonna explore up around the prison?
Yeah, and I'm looking for, when I go down these hallways, I'm looking for any other doorways out, but it doesn't look like there are any, so I'm going to go in and check out the actual prison and see if there's anything beyond that.
Okay. I'll put a pause on you there and go down to the people in the kill room. The room in where people are shouting kill.
Kill, kill, kill.
Is Kid joining in?
No, Kid's not.
So,
basically like pomp and circumstance to him.
Yeah. As the lion takes his throne, he just holds up one hand, and the others all shut up, like immediately, as he takes his seat, and he kind of looks, and he speaks in common because these hobgoblins probably don't know loads of giant, and these giants don't know loads of goblins, so they have to find a common tongue, and it means you guys know what's going on. Convenient. And he says, "So, we got more prisoners today, huh? Who brings forward these fighters for my entertainment?" And PP steps out into the room along with 3 others. As the lion looks at them, the one on the furthest, like from our perspective, left, he goes, "I see your bull is still going strong. It's a good sign. It's good." He then looks for the next one. What have you brought? And he speaks out. "I made a capture of tiny dragons." And the lion at that point grips his throne and breaks a bit of it off, and he goes, "They can go first." He then looks to PP, and PP says, when I was abandoned by my troop, I stood tall, I fought back, and I captured adventurers." And you see the lion go like, And the last one goes, "Members of Black Claw." And he looks very impressed. The lion looks very impressed by that. It's like, so, each one of you pick a fighter, throw him in. So, with that, the guy who captured the orcs, he walks over, he kind of looks at his orcs, and Kid, the one you were playing tic-tac-toe with, gets selected and goes in. I'm just going to mark these particular hobgoblins. PP walks over and looks at all of you. Do any of you look like you're offering to go in?
Perm won't say anything, but they kind of do want to murder orcs, but they won't say.
After noticing that Rars went in, Kid's going to lock eyes with him.
With PP?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And PP kind of like gives you a little wink, like a, "You want to go?"
Very, very obvious. No, I don't want to go, but with like a very slight nod in between the shaking heads back and forth.
Yep. Then PP will.
You're just kind of doing a circle.
Like, "No, I don't want to fight. Why me?"
Not me.
So PP will walk in. He'll grab your chains and pull you out into the ring. And you can just pop yourself anywhere you'd like in the ring.
Okay. I'm gonna put myself here.
Yep. The one who captured the kobolds, all of the kobolds scurry and try and hide up against the back wall. You know what? Except this fat one, who he just gets grabbed like by the tail and yanked out and thrown into the middle of the ring. Let's mark.
Save Pig. Or save Ham.
Let's mark you as the kobold catcher.
Okay, Ham.
And finally, the Minotaur just walks out casually because he knows what's going on.
He knows he's about to kill some fucks.
He just knows the deal. And
Oh boy.
with that,
Damn.
from where the lion is sat, before him is a whole array of weapons. There's spears, there's swords, there's maces. Basically, all simple and martial weapons. They are laid out in front of him, and he just kicks them into the ring, like in front of him, and he just says, "Kill each other." Battle ends.
Are there any armor
when
and shields among the weapons?
There's no armor. There are a few shields. There's
Okay.
once again. There's one of everything. So there's a tower. There's a small wooden, a heavy wooden, a small steel, and a heavy steel. And he just simply says, "Battle ends when first one dies. Go."
Oh. At least it's when the first one dies.
And
Let's see.
roll initiative, kid.
Yeah.
Fine, because we can bash through this quickly.
Solid.
That's
There you go.
solid. Okay, so
Did we have time to pick up a weapon, or are we still sitting there unarmed?
You'll have to spend your first round of combat going and grabbing a weapon if you want it.
Okay, are they all medium-sized weapons, or does the Minotaur have one for its own size?
There are a few larger weapons. There's there are medium-sized things like great swords and great axes that the Minotaur can wield, but there are a few large weapons as well.
Okay.
So the kobold rolled a 3, the Minotaur rolled an 8, and the orc rolled a 12. So basically, it goes kid, orc, Minotaur, kobold. Kid, what's your move?
Okay, let's see. So looking at the weapons that are scattered out around, the first thing that Kid's going to do is he's going to grab a... he's not even going to bother going for a shield since he doesn't have time to work with it. If there's any heavy flails nearby, he's going to grab it.
Yeah, there's a heavy flail.
Okay,
these are all...
mundane quality?
Pardon?
I assume they're just mundane quality?
Yeah, these are all scattered in these squares in front of Lion. So you'd have to move and grab it.
Okay. I will take the opportunity to run up. I'm going to grab a heavy flail. And then before it has the chance to react, Kid's going to rush up here and he's going to swing with all of his might with that heavy flail. Directly at the kobold.
Go for it.
Okay. Let me see. Let's get that down since I don't have that flail put in. My 2 hit with a heavy flail since it is not a finesse weapon. Okay. Just a d20 plus... Second. Used to have it. There we go. Melee attack. Boom.
16 will hit.
Okay. That's going to be a 1d10, I believe, for a heavy
Yep.
flail. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Plus my strength, and then half again, which puts it at 3. He's going to take a shot. Going with 13.
That's an instant death on this kobold. As you
Well,
rush
that was a
in...
quick match.
Poor
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, so Kid, you run in, you grab this flail, and how do you want to kill this kobold? Like, when you swing, are you trying to, like, swing down and pound him into the ground, like swing up and throw him backwards? What?
Basically, Kid with the honed reflexes of someone who has seen this sort of thing before, was waiting on the moment that, like, the word kill each other happened. He started moving on the word kill.
Yeah.
He rushes forward. He reaches down and grabs a hold of the flail, jumps backwards, and just swings in an uppercut.
You clock this pudgy little kobold under the chin. And, well, because he's so small and this flail is sizable enough, you like simultaneously hit him in the chest and under the chin, and his entire body is lifted up off the floor as he is rocketed and flung across the room. His limp corpse slaps against the back wall as it just lands on the floor, bleeding profusely. The Minotaur and Rars, they haven't even moved yet. They're just kind of stood there, and they both kind of let out a sigh as the lion reaches up and rubs he rubs the bridge of his nose, and he looks at the kobold catcher, points at him, and the kobold catcher is pushed into the ring and is basically told, "You bring me these weak little pieces of shit, they're all going in, and this fight ends when either everybody dies or you die." And the other kobolds are all released into the ring, and that is where we will have to end tonight's session.
I want it to be longer. Ah!
This is all going according to plan.
So, thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight. As so far, nothing has gone drastically wrong. Yet.
I mean, I've been shanked, but...
Next session is going to be all ones.
Yeah, maybe. So, you'll definitely want to tune in for that. And you know how you tune in? You can be informed when things are happening here on Welcome to the Party by following here on Twitch, or subscribing if you've got the cash, because that's awful kind of you. So that is twitch.tv/WelcomePartyRPG. You can also follow them on Twitter at WelcomePartyRPG to get all your daily updates on what's going on the channel. And if you ever miss an episode or miss something you want to see, you can go find it on YouTube at youtube.com/Welcome to the Party. I have been your Dungeon Master, the Bardic Knock. You can find me on Twitter at the Bardic Knock, on Patreon at the Bardic Knock, on twitch.tv/the Bardic Knock, and on YouTube with no specific thing because I don't have enough subscribers. From next week, we will have Archer back, which is fan-diddly-tastic because Archer keeps this stream running instead of me making everything go wrong. So, yeah, there's Archer, and you can find his artwork on his DeviantArt page, and he also streams as well, so if you go and follow him, you'll get emails about what he's doing. Also, the artwork for Kid the Dark Horse has been done by a fellow on Tumblr, and you can find him at Thomas-Safe-Zone. I believe that is everything. We are going to go and give a little raid over to... I know Castle Mac are on, so we'll throw it over to them. And, yes, that has worked. So, we hope you have enjoyed this. Have I missed anything? I don't think I've missed anything.
I don't think so. No.
No, so wonderful. Until next time, everybody, happy adventuring.